Let's hope I. Oh.
Of course.
Oh, okay.
All right, we're on. So, welcome you guys to another live show with Dr. G, and we have a special guest tonight. We have Jenna Paul, and we have Kari Paul, and so they're going to talk tonight about Crohn's and reversing Crohn's. So it's going to be pretty exciting. This month we're talking about 15 years of miracle patients. I feel like that's a little dark here. Let me see. Let me see. Maybe it'll like.
Fell off.
I know, I'm breaking stuff here.
Yeah, just push this thing.
I don't know. Well, I think the computer's
Okay.
off. All right, so I'll be dark. I'll be mysterious. So, we're talking about 15 years of miracle patients, so kind of all these patients that couldn't get better and made these radical changes to their lifestyle, and then suddenly everything could be better. So, last month, you guys know both these people, right? Sarah and Amy?
I don't know Sarah.
Who's
Oh,
Sarah?
okay. Apparently they don't know Sarah. So, try, can you shut that off? Let's see. So we always do it with this off. And so then the light comes this way. Oh, you just push the button? Yeah.
Oh, I'm smart. No, that's too dark. What?
That's too dark?
What?
All right. We're just trying to figure things out.
Oh, wow. That was right.
It's like a lightning. All right. So last time we had Sarah Young on, and she had all these weird autoimmune things, and then she was trying to figure out how to get rid of them. Nobody could help her. And, like, she had to retire early, and she couldn't really move very well. It's like, you know, she's young and couldn't function. And basically she just made the lifestyle changes, and then everything got better. All the autoimmune stuff disappeared. It was great. So she came on and talked. That was a really great video a couple weeks ago. And then Amy came on, and you guys know Amy then, right?
Yeah.
So how do you guys relate to her?
So Jenna's dad is first cousins with Amy's husband. So Jenna's dad is first cousins with Mike Simpson.
So my
with-
dad-
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
that's
the
right.
husband,
That's right.
So the husband. Yeah.
So
of
not
Amy.
blood related.
Okay. So, yeah, so when Amy came on, she was talking about she had Crohn's, and so she talked about, I mean, she was just miserable and just falling apart, and yeah, that was one of the things we talked about when she was on here, is like she couldn't stand up for like more than 15 minutes or something. She laid
in bed for like 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's
Chronic
crazy.
back pain. Yes.
And then she just ran her first 5K from not being able to stay awake or move around to now she ran a 5K, which was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she
awesome.
gave me the
gave me her
racing number.
That's awesome.
So that's pretty cool.
She signed
Wonderful.
it.
I know.
She's so awesome.
So she signed it, so I can't claim that I did it. I know what
Good
she's
for her.
doing.
Good for her.
Good
Um,
thinking, Amy.
So, you know, for this last 15 years, we've done these kind of miracle things, reversing Crohn's, ulcerative colitis, irritable bowel, eczema, psoriasis, even type 1 diabetes. Like, I finally reversed type 1.
Praise God for that.
And
Wow.
arrhythmias, headaches, migraines, chronic pain, even fatal genetic disorders. And we're actually doing research now, which is pretty good. So we're trying to do some pilot studies and clinical trials on some of the reversing kind of epigenetic stuff for anxiety and depression. So that's kind of cool.
Oh, that's huge.
And, you know, it's amazing because, like, I went through chiropractic college, got my doctorate, then went through medical school, did 3,500 hours of rounds, and just constant just medicating people and changing their meds, never reversing anything. And then it wasn't until I went through Harvard Medical School's lifestyle medicine program that was like, here's how you reverse Crohn's. And actually Crohn's was one of the courses that I think the first course I took. And it said, patient has Crohn's, what are they doing to cause it?
Ooh.
And then it was like, okay, let's make these changes. The patient's getting better. Let's make these changes. And that blew my mind because, I mean, all these postgraduate education, all this education, 12 years of grad school, and that was the first time I was ever taught that you can reverse anything, you know? And so that's why I've been on fire for like the last 15 years. But I also just kind of do my thing and nobody even knows.
I know.
Really.
But we tell people about you all the time.
And so that's why we wanted, you know, this month we had people on that have been gone through the mud and the blood and came out on top and kicked butt. And no one kicks butt more than this girl. Jenna was awesome. Like, I was amazed by you. I really was. What did I tell you all the time? You got to start a blog.
Yeah,
you have
I
a
know.
podcast. You got to be doing something. Because it's amazing. You were just, like, so determined.
Yeah, but how do we okay, I was
Oh, now you're not going to talk very loud? She promised she was going to talk loud. She was squirreling around the whole time, and then as soon as the camera came on, just like that.
We'll get
All
her
right.
there.
So, so tonight we want to talk about kind of like how a mom deals with this, and also if Jenna actually starts talking, how she dealt with this. And I had to back up the screen so it fit all three of us. But I'm going to try to read some of your comments.
I'll go over there.
Okay, Jen, I'll help. That'll be helpful.
Then I'll be out of the camera.
You're going to be the...
Amy.
Okay.
She's right there when she
It says, we can't hear you, sweet Jenna. Oh, I'm sorry about that.
They can't hear you.
Amy.
Amy said
Amy
that.
Simpson said
Okay,
Okay.
first one. Oh, available to go live with you. Live with you. Available to go live with you. Wait,
Okay.
wait. Oh!
So just as they ask
Oh.
questions or whatever, you know,
Oh.
but you got to scroll all the way down.
Oh, okay. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Oh, you're right. So, you know these kids, they don't know technology.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah?
I'm
All right.
Smart. Whoops.
So this is kind of like y'all's time
Yes.
to tell your story and to kind of talk
Okay.
about the history of what's going on. But I'll kind of ask some questions as we go through this. And so, you know, make sure that you guys please share this with your friends and family. This is important stuff. All the videos are kind of logged on Facebook on my page under videos, then my videos. So you can see like 75 other videos. But not this exciting. Why do you have your hands in the water?
Because I have burnt my finger or something. See? It's red.
Did you burn on the screen?
I don't know. It's
Oh.
painful.
Okay, so let's start out kind of talking about kind of where you guys were at in the very beginning.
Okay,
So-
so about 3 years ago, Jenna started suffering from stomach pains. She would eat and then kind of be laying on the couch. And people always thought she was lazy, didn't want to clean up after dinner kind of thing. Or if we were eating out with family, then she would always want to come sit by me. And people always thought, oh, she's so attached to her mother and she's got a problem. And not realizing she just did not truly feel good.
Yeah.
And so then I tried to self-diagnose her as a medical profession. I was like, okay, she's got gluten intolerance, so we'll just get rid of the gluten. So we tried that for a while. And then she still had stomach problems, even when she was eating gluten. And then I'm like, okay, she must have a dairy allergy, so we'll get rid of the dairy, or we'll
But
do
it wasn't
lactate.
like-
Yeah.
it
So
wasn't, like,
that went
slowly,
on
like,
for
5 months up there.
probably about 6 months. I was trying to self-diagnose her on my own and because I could fix her that way. And then she was with some friends, her Girl Scout group in Savannah in June of 2015, and chronic stomach pains the full week that she was with her group. I was not there, so she was. But anyway, came back, and then we did $1,000 worth of stool and blood samples at her doctor's office. All came back negative. And so they said, you need to go see a specialist. And I was like, okay, fine. So I went to the specialist, and she said, we just need to do a colonoscopy. And I was like, okay, we'll get to that. And because we had some other medical issues going on at the house, so I kind of waited a couple months. And then I'm like, because I knew her problem would probably just go away on its own.
Yeah.
But it didn't. So then I was like, okay, fine. We'll go have a colonoscopy. So in September of 2015, she had a colonoscopy, and she was confirmed to have Crohn's. And we were fully shocked because we're like, oh, I thought maybe she had celiac disease because she only had stomach aches or something. And found out she had blood certain times and that she thought was normal. And so anyway, the doctor recommended for us to do high levels of steroids, and because the medicine that she wanted to try her on initially was going to take 90 days to even begin to try to work. And if we didn't want to do that, then we'd have to do Remicade, and I knew in all my, like about 15 years, I had just come to more holistic for myself and my kids.
Yeah.
And I knew I was not going to do medicine. And I told the nurse, I said, I'm not doing your stuff. I didn't know what I was going to do, but I knew there was something different out there. And so that night, can we keep going with my story?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
you're fine.
Then that evening, I was at church. I helped with the youth group at our church, and I had shared that Jenna was diagnosed with Crohn's, and if we could pray, and my friend came up and handed me a piece of paper, and it had Dr. Garrett's number on it, and she said, you need to go see this doctor. And I'm like, okay, tell me about him. She's like, well, he helps heal the body through food. And I'm like, yep, that's who I'm looking for. And it was really cool because about 2 weeks before then, I was not helping in the middle school, but I just felt like leading from God just to start helping there. And so if I hadn't helped in the middle school, I would never have gotten Dr. Garrett's name. So we're just really blessed to have gotten that name.
So everybody should volunteer.
So volunteer if you're feeling prompt. Yes. So that was the beginning of the journey. And so I knew we were in the right place coming to see you.
What about you? Oh, you are going to be quiet during this.
I don't know what to say.
So, how were you feeling in the beginning? Like when you first kind of got diagnosed, or kind of before that? She's too shy.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's the question again.
So, kind of like, how did you feel?
Oh, what do you mean?
Like, how was your life? How was your life? How did you? Kind of, what did you feel all the time? Because we talked about, like, you didn't have the typical Crohn's kind of symptoms.
Very tired.
Yeah,
Very
I had
tired. Very-
extreme anemia, which we found out.
Oh,
later.
yeah. Oh, that's right. And that's one of the things that was fixed, too.
Uh-huh.
That was awesome.
Because I was
forgot
like
about that.
tired all the time, and I was like, I don't want to go to school, Mom. Don't make me go to school. So it was like super hard with like that part.
And what about pain? Like, did you feel hopeless? Like, to eat anything?
No, I still liked food, but I just didn't eat a lot. But I thought I ate a lot, but then I ended up not. She did, why can't you only finish half a sandwich? And I was like, Mom, I'm not hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people would note about her eating small quantities and just like, how do you expect to grow if you don't eat? And and she did not grow actually for 2 years and did not gain weight for 2 years.
Yeah.
And on the day of her colonoscopy, she weighed 62 pounds and she was 12 years old.
Yeah. So I remember that. Like when you came in, did you know that? You remember this?
No.
When you came in, I thought you were like 8 years old.
Oh,
But you were talking way above an 8-year-old. Like you were so articulate about what was going on, and I thought, like, this doesn't match. What you're saying does not match how old I think you are. And then I finally asked. Do you remember me asking you?
Like, how old are you?
Yeah. And you're like, you were 12, right?
Yes, 12.
And I was just like, holy crap, this girl's like wasting away.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
was really wasting away.
And you weighed how much?
62 pounds.
62?
Yeah.
This is going to be on permanent life right here.
It's okay. I'm trying to act like I'm tiny with braces.
You used to have braces.
I don't got them no more.
And we cured that too.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So, when you first came in, you weighed 62 pounds, which is funny because I think you have to weigh 80 before you can get rid of a booster seat for little kids.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Did you have a booster seat?
Except the front seat. I was a rebel.
Front seat, you're
Did you set so the one other thing is when you sit in the front seat, if you don't weigh enough, the little,
Yeah, it never went off.
It was always said it was turned off. The airbag was always turned
so
off.
you didn't even weigh enough to set off the airbag.
Mm-mm.
That's crazy. And then you were 4 foot
11.
11.
4'11".
So that's a dwarf, right? You were a dwarf. Yeah.
I was like from the small people.
Yeah.
Like the ladies were 11, I think.
So I told you that my mom, she's 4'11".
Wow.
So,
Ooh.
and all the questions you guys ask, I'll answer those, and you guys will help answer those too,
Okay,
I'm sure.
that's fine.
So if we don't see him because the camera's a little bit further away, just keep posting, and I will answer all those things. And then Jenna's going to answer them too, right? You got to go through and answer them.
Yes.
All right, so So that was one of the big concerns, because not only did we want to reverse the Crohn's,
Mm-hmm.
but you weren't growing.
Mm-mm.
You were like one step from like going to Snow White's house and being one of the dwarfs there. and then your height thing too. So the or not the height, but the weight thing was a big issue. And your husband told me the story about the 80 pounds, but you say you forgot it. But he said the 80 because the goal was 80 pounds. So why was it 80 pounds?
So we were on a trip to the Creation Museum that summer, and you had to be 80 pounds to do the zip line. And her younger brother, who's 2 years younger, could go on the zip line because he weighed 100 pounds. And she was so heartbroken and really, really depressed that she didn't weigh enough. And so, yeah, that's why the 80 pounds came from. So.
Well, that's interesting because I remember it was like, we just want to get to 80 pounds.
Yeah.
And I was like, well,
that was forever away. Yeah, 62.
Yeah. And it's not often we have patients that want to gain weight.
Yeah.
Once in a while.
My dad needs to lose weight.
He could give you his weight.
Yeah, that's right.
No, I don't want it anymore.
No? You don't want a big pot belly?
Well, and even like her bone structure and like athletically, she just could not even match up to anybody. Her legs look like twigs.
Yeah.
Now
It's
she
really-
says I'm a branch.
Now she looks like a branch.
Now you're a branch.
Now I'm a branch.
We
I'm
went
so
from a-
much bigger than a stick.
She went from a twig to a branch.
Woohoo! Go.
On her extremities.
So, with the meds, I mean, so this is the common thing within like gastroenterology is that basically it's, we're going to put your kid on steroids. Well, how long? They're going to be alive for the rest of their life, so how long can you even do that?
No.
And you can't. So, I mean, when I did that coursework through Harvard, that was the very first thing that they would do, and that was the very first thing that you had to get them off of, because you're going to make them balloon up and,
Balloon
and
face,
waste
yeah.
their bones
Yeah,
away.
bones
and,
away, absolutely.
yeah, it just
Yeah.
messes everything up. And so then the next thing is like Remicade or Meloxicam or something like that.
Right.
And those end up causing Crohn's-like symptoms.
And the cost of those things, like, it puts people in medical debt.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the other issue. I mean,
Do
choosing
you
the
remember how much it
holistic.
was?
Well, some people said you can pay $4,000, $6,000, or $12,000 every 6 weeks
Holy
for
crap.
Remicade,
Yeah.
depending on where you go.
Because I have one patient, I think she pays $4,000 a month for her meds.
Yeah, probably.
And so it's just like, that's a good motivation to want to reverse.
It is, absolutely.
with that.
Yeah.
$4,000.
You just go to the grocery store.
She could have a lake house. She can have a house in Switzerland for that.
I could get a new car.
That's right.
That's unbelievable.
A good car.
Yeah.
For $4,000.
I know. Or you could pay to chronically manage your body every month.
No, thank you.
Can
So-
I just make it? Like, it can be, like, cost $4,000 to make the crap.
Well, most of the meds came from something natural anyway, so,
Go throw some honey down your throat. Woo!
What?
you got to put apple cider vinegar on everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cure is always a little bit of apple cider vinegar. So then they talked about if Remicade didn't work, or what was the progression, because there's always, it goes like this. Could it be my food? No, it cannot be your food. It cannot possibly be what you put in your body. It has to be this mystery that we don't understand, but it cannot be food, is usually what the first thing they say. We can do steroids, but we can't do that for very long, or we're going to screw things up really badly. Then we can do Remicade, but we usually can't do that for very long because we're going to screw up everything. And then the next stage is, we'll just cut your bowels out and you can poop in a bag for the rest of your life.
Right.
Cure!
Well, and she had, right after the day after colonoscopy, she actually came out and told us that where the Crohn's was, that she probably would have a colon resection within the first year. And I was like, I think I was just shocked. I was like, okay, whatever. And then when we went and visited her the next week to try to see what to do about her, I asked her if she would support us if we would choose a holistic route. And she says, I absolutely will not.
Oh my
Because it
God.
does not work.
Yeah.
That's what she told me.
So, we had this patient that had eczema from top to bottom,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
And so the girl was like 5 years old, and they were like, okay, can't do steroids, we can't do Elidil very long, we can't do anything for very long. And the mom was like, well, could it be the food? Absolutely cannot be the food. And so then they came to see me, and it was the food, and so the girl was completely eczema free within the next like 2 months, and still 7 years later she's still eczema free, but they went back to the pediatric immunologist, I think, or endocrinologist, and was like, see, it was the food, and the immunologist was like, no, sometimes it just resolves spontaneously, and it's like, yeah, when we tested and removed those foods.
Well, the response we get from the medical is like, I'm glad that works for Jenna.
Yeah, as if it's
I'm glad
like
that's for
a
Jenna.
unique thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
That's so messed up too.
yeah,
So that's basically, so from a mom's perspective, because we've had like adults, and it's just like, well, yeah, for you it's just like, oh, I don't want to have be pooping in a bag and do Remicade and steroids forever. But for a mom, it's got to be even harder because like that whole guilt of like, why can't I fix my child?
Yeah, that it. So for me personally, since I had some background and just more holistic for myself, I just knew there had to be something like that. So when we found you and you helped us, I knew that was the answer. My biggest challenge was there's 6 of us at the house, and everybody else was starting to grumble because all I knew how to make was chicken and salad.
Yeah.
And I burned and noodles, rice noodles, and so I burned everybody out really bad. And I think it was in about the 2-month mark.
And I still can't eat Jason's deli.
Well, that's good.
I don't like Jason's deli.
So I discovered meals, so just the letter E and then meals. I heard about it on Dave Ramsey. His daughter Rachel Cruz talked about it, and you sign up for. It's $58 a year to have 7 recipes come in your inbox. Well, one of the 16 different food plans to pick from is paleo, which is gluten and dairy free, and so sometimes the recipes, initially Jenna could not have cauliflower and broccoli, so if it called for cauliflower and broccoli, then I would just substitute it with zucchini or carrots or something else that she could have. And I learned to substitute, but it gave such variety for our family, and so they finally started quit complaining. But we also really started appreciating things like sweet potatoes and just making more creative dishes. And I still, to this day, 2 years later, I still use Eat Meals.
Is that right?
Yes, I do. So
yeah, I remember when you told me about that. I looked those up and I was like, well, this is amazing.
Yeah. So that's the most important thing. And being a mother, I knew the age that she was. She was prepubescent. She would be a mother someday. I did not want her body to have all these chemicals in her body, and to destroy the body that God created her to have. And anyway, I just knew that this was the answer. For healing.
So you were saying she couldn't have broccoli and cauliflower
initially, yes.
And that's because she did that test, the IgG test.
The IgG test, yes.
So that's one of the things, like, that's the only test that makes anybody cry.
Yeah.
Did you cry?
Oh,
yeah.
Did you cry?
So we used to go up and down the aisles at the grocery store and could not have lots of things. And we label read everything, and it was initially really, really hard for her. And but she was determined. She never cheated ever because she felt so bad. She physically was so ill, and her stomach aches and stuff, that she was determined she was going to start feeling better. And I think when she started feeling better, she was like, why would I fudge?
Right. Yeah, 2 weeks ago, or maybe 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, we had Sarah Young, and I asked her if she ever cried, and she said she went to the store, kind of walked around, and then went back to her car and cried, and then pulled it together and went shopping.
Oh, yeah.
But it was
I think she did that with her dad, because he initially took her from the appointment that we had with you, and she was crying. Yeah, it's... But now we're so good. Like the other night I made apple dumplings with gluten-free pie crust and cored the apple out. Yeah. So we've just really gotten creative. And the other thing about Jenna is she could have isolated herself, not hanging out with friends, but she always was like, oh, I'll come, but I'm just going to bring my food, and you guys eat your stuff, and I'll eat my food. And that, she just never shied away from there. So you don't have to be isolated.
Well, and that was the amazing thing too. Like I told you from the beginning, like I was so amazed by you. I was so proud of you.
Mm-hmm.
I was always like, you got to do a podcast. Like you came in, you were like, I made marshmallow whip, and
Yeah, cranberry salad. We made our own Cool Whip. We made our own marshmallows. That was the first Thanksgiving.
I thought this kid's a rock star. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing gonna hold her back.
Right.
And that's that kind of determination. Like people fall apart, and that's what they use to cry. Like the worst patient we ever had, and her stuff was all psych stuff. But when she found out she get like hers is the worst test we've ever had.
Oh, wow.
And so she drove 3.5 or 4 hours away. And so for the whole trip home, she said she just cried. And then she got like 30 minutes from home, and she was just like kind of like, okay, you know what? I could substitute this. I could do this. And then she's like, okay, I can do this and I can do that. And like once she started like turning her gears from woe is me to I'm gonna figure it out. And that's like you were like that way I think from the start.
Yeah.
You were just like, I'm gonna have whatever the hell I want,
Yeah.
and make it work.
Yeah.
Except there was 2 things that you wanted that was on your IgG list that you couldn't have. That we waited like 6 months till your symptoms.
Potatoes and tomatoes
Yep.
were initially on there.
I wanted French
No
fries.
tomato sauce, no potato chips, no
she
French
made-
fries.
She made some beet crap. It was
Oh, that was horrible. Yeah, so you do learn
Yeah,
this week.
you do some bad
So,
stuff in the
yeah.
beginning, like
But then she did get potatoes back so she can have Chick-fil-A, because they use canola oil, not vegetable oil, which is soybean and safflower oil. Anyway, so you can have Chick-fil-A. So
Yeah.
we love that. So
So
and
you
then
find all
tomatoes.
those little happy moments.
Oh, we were
right?
so joyful
what?
You find those little happy moments of like,
when you got
It's-
potatoes back and tomatoes back, because
Yeah.
you can have that
Oh,
awesome
yeah,
stuff.
it's good.
Yeah,
It's-
marinara sauce or pizza sauce.
well, and how fast? Because most of the Crohn's patients, most of them that reverse, it's usually like 6 weeks.
Yeah.
How long was it for you guys?
I would
You
say
remember?
that was probably about her. It took her lab a while, but that iron was so incredibly depleted. Oh, and another fun little tidbit with the iron. So her MCV
Yeah, MCV.
was so low. It was like sick in the
60s, yeah.
yeah, like 60 or 58. It was really, really
Yeah,
low.
that's
And a
similar
normal's like
to
90 and 100. And we just had struggles getting that up. And so I had a friend at work who was a nurse, and she said that they used a cast iron skillet. And so I dug out my old grandma's cast iron skillet, started using that cast iron skillet, and her iron has went to normal.
Because they're
We've
like,
never had
"Ew,
trouble.
Eat Swiss chard and
Oh,
spinach
yeah, that's right.
and black strap molasses," and I was like, "No."
Yeah, so that was a really fun tidbit.
It
So
was
just
all
learning
girls.
from other people, I enjoyed that too. So
Yeah. Well, and that's the hope too. Is like, most people feel so isolated, alone. They feel like I'm the only one going through this. And like you said with your family, like if the family all goes through it, it's like way easier.
right.
But if it's just like one person in the family trying to go through it, it is hard. It's
Right.
hard.
Yeah. And I think she's a living testimony. You can tell people that it works, and people who are very, very skeptical of this whole journey are now going, oh, I guess that does work.
Yeah.
Yeah. And anyway, and starts even referring people to you because of, what they've seen in Jenna. And really,
Well, what's amazing is so you guys did very well. Like you were like game on from the very beginning.
right.
Which our last guest, Amy, she said she watched you get better, and then it took her a year
Right.
because she didn't want to make the food changes.
Yeah, I was the person Amy was talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's fun.
But that's crazy.
Right.
That's really crazy that some people would wait that long because it's always something like I
It's
don't
a
want to
fear
give out
factor. It's a
pop.
fear. It's fear.
Yeah.
I
But
mean,
they'll suffer for. I mean, that's the hard part. Is like like 6 weeks, right? So 6 weeks you're better, and people suffer for 10, 20 years, and it's just like it's almost so hard because it's like in 6 weeks I could be normal again, And so part of that is it just sounds unbelievable, and that's why I like having you guys say this kind of stuff because it's one thing for me to say, it's another thing for like the actual person to say,
Right.
oh yeah, it was that easy.
Yeah.
And so it was simple to get better. It was just hard to overcome all those kind of roadblocks.
right. Yeah. Of just the meals and the food. But I mean, like I said, I would not, I mean, e-meals is the way to go.
I go read them?
Oh, so Amy, yeah, you should read Amy's.
Yeah, what did she say?
Amy.
I'm getting too old. I can't
I-
read that.
Okay, let's
What?
go
There we
up.
Oh, Amy's saying.
Oh, no.
No. Don't
Oh,
read
the
Amy.
bottom one. Oh,
Amy,
whoops. I knew how much work Kari was going through to change the way she fed her family. She seemed too overwhelming for our lifestyle, but it was totally worth it.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, because it's overwhelming for a lot of people going through those changes in the beginning. And, like, there was another patient that, it was the same thing. I think she was on Dr. Pepper. And she was just like, I asked, like, who referred, and she said 7 other people had referred her over the last 2 years.
Wow.
But they all said, you're going to have to give up the Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
And so, like, that's her whole thing. She's going to suffer for 2 years after suffering for 20 years because of Dr. Pepper.
Just
think
go to the store and get, like, the sugar Dr. Pepper. It's so...
Yeah, like,
Actually,
has
get-
little sugar in
yeah.
it. Yeah.
at Dillon's they even have it.
Now the natural stuff.
Yeah, don't do that. It's Zevia, Dr. Zevia. That would be okay. Or Dr. Life Soda.
No.
That would be okay.
I think the other thing is some parents are be like, my child will never eat this. My child will never do this.
Yeah.
And I guess if you don't make it an option, I mean, and as a mother, it's like the mother bear, or it's like,
Oh, just keep going. I'm gonna see who's on here.
but yeah, it's just, I'm gonna protect her. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to help her. So
Yeah.
that kind of.
I know, I'm coming. Just wait.
Oh, she lightened it up.
Wait, just a second.
Oh, that's better.
That's better.
Jenna,
It is?
yeah, just come on.
Can you see that? Okay, I'm by. Okay.
You're the technology wizard.
Thank you, Jenna.
So this, let's see. I think we talked about, the meals being boring. That's pretty common. That's what some people are like, I have to eat healthy, so I'm going to just eat twigs. But, like, there's so much flavor. And
I think
so
it becomes a new normal, when you eat healthy.
Yeah.
You don't want to go back to
Yeah.
the fast food, most of the fast foods. Like, I would never eat there. Ever.
So you said you started using herbs and spices, too.
Yeah,
That
a
made a
lot
big
more.
difference?
That helps. And some people are like, oh, I can't ever eat out again.
Yeah,
there
so
were-
tell me about that. Cause
Yeah, so there's I'm put a good plug in for a restaurant on the west side. It's called 12. Yeah, TWELVE. And it's at Maple and 118th. And we hadn't ever eaten out really with Jenna. So we called ahead and talked to him about kind of what she could eat. And they're like, absolutely, come, we will help you. And so we went there and they came over and made sure. And even after the food came to our table, they were like, okay, is that exactly right? We didn't put this or that. I mean, they really, really worked with us. And, those kind of, when people love on your kids, you love those people. And so we love that restaurant because they're so good about accommodating for that. So,
And did you guys do, like, Noodles and Company? Because they have rice noodles.
Mm-hmm,
that's an East Side thing.
East? Is it only on the east side?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
don't have one on the west
Oh,
side.
man. I went to that Taipei on the west side, but I think they put MSG. They said they don't, but man, I felt like I gotta go to sleep like right away.
Yeah, I won't go there then.
What other restaurants helped?
Freddy's.
Freddy's. So you just
Okay, so Freddy's.
tell me what you did.
So, what
So
do
we
you
said
get
okay, so we went in and we're like, okay, so can I have a kid's burger? Oh, I'm sorry.
You're doing good.
So like a kid's burger without a bun and cheese, and then they say like make sure you say like you have an allergy. I mean I don't like that word, but say like I can't have dairy, because then they have like a special spot on the grill that they'll make it.
Is that right?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And then like the fries, I mean like we're okay. They said that they cook it in the same. It's canola oil, and they cook it in the same oil as they do like their like onion rings, which is
Oh, it has the wheat on there.
yeah, but it's like okay, like I don't feel sick after that. So,
Yeah.
We seem to
that's
be
okay for me,
for you.
but it's not like they don't claim like gluten free, like because that could be bad for people.
And initially, she could not have paprika, which is so
And
weird. And they used that little sprinkle, so we just say no seasoning.
Oh,
So
yeah,
it would be.
okay.
So
and we just put salt on it.
we just put salt on it.
Yeah.
So we just learned to ask.
And that's one of the things. So like today I had a bunless burger.
Yeah.
And some fries, and so at a restaurant,
Uh-huh.
and so because I don't do fast food this whole summer.
Yeah,
this
you look
fall.
great. Yeah.
And you know, it's nice because again, you have those like things that like kind of make it all worth it. Because like I ate 3 carrots and a cucumber for breakfast,
Oh.
and then I was just like I need like something comfortable that I can have. But when I go out and I stand at the corner, I'm just like I can go no wheat and dairy, wheat and dairy, wheat and dairy, wheat and dairy. Where can I go? And so it's just like, well, I'll just have a bunless burger and
Go
some
to the
fries.
kitchen.
That's right. You guys eat there?
No, but I've seen it.
Yeah. So, but there are a lot of wheat and dairy. But I'm
Yeah.
sure you can.
We
work
went to
around
The
it.
other
Lotus
great
Leaf,
place
like
that
that
we
one.
discovered is Chipotle.
Yes.
And so Jenna cannot have
I
lemon.
don't like Chipotle.
Anyway,
You're a hater.
so they put lemon in with their rice and a lot of their stuff. So we asked them to get the rice
Yeah.
from the
That's
back that hasn't had anything added, and then you
My
can
mom's
just
like,
add
yeah,
the meat and the tomatoes or whatever and lettuce that you want. So we learned to tweak Chipotle too. So
Yeah.
you just kind of learn.
Chipotle is nice because
It's good.
it actually is like quick, but it's restaurant
Yeah,
kind of.
yeah.
But sort
We
of
ate a
fast
lot
food.
of it. We kind of burned ourselves out about it.
I
Yeah,
ate
we're
that.
kind of burned out on it right now.
I
But
like the rice. That's about it.
yeah,
What about Lotus Leaf? You said Lotus
We
Leaf.
went there.
time.
We went there one time after he told us about it. It's great. Like the food's so good. Like I would like I ate what was it? Fries or what was the thing that they had on the side? And I made my mom sweet potato fries.
Oh,
And
that's
I
right.
made my
yeah,
mom buy more so we can take them home.
Yeah. See, that's comfort, right?
Yeah, I was
Oh,
like, oh.
okay.
But then also it's a little pricey, so just don't take
Yeah,
6
don't.
people there. for
Yeah.
dinner.
3 people.
She was like,
kinda-
"Yeah, next time we go, you're gonna eat there, and then we'll just
Yeah.
eat at home." Okay, sounds good to me.
Yeah, I always want to take my girls there, but with 4 girls, I'm just like, I don't know. I might have to take out a small loan to like. You
I
know.
think we spent like almost $50 for 3 people.
Well, Bryce gets
Yeah.
he I don't like this bread.
What
It's got
about-
seeds in
Okay.
it.
What about sushi? Did you ever go? You know that? No. All right.
There was something in it, the soy or something.
No,
What was
I just
the
didn't
wrap?
like it.
Oh, okay. I thought there
What
was
about
something
California rolls?
that has avocado.
I tried to get avocado rolls with
Yeah.
like the seaweed. I can't do seaweed.
Oh, you can't do that.
Seaweed's gross. I just like unwrapped it and ate the rice and the avocado. So just give me a big bucket of rice and some avocados and I'll be good.
Did you ever eat the chocolate avocado pudding?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
I think so. I think it was a long time ago.
Yeah, it's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Then
But I remember initially thinking of rice. We literally had to make our own rice milk
it was
because
we
everything
used
had
black
safflower
rice,
in there or sunflower oil and all the
But
milks.
then we found Pacific.
But then there's a Pacific brand that now you can get the almond milk at the Whole Foods
And like oat milk and stuff like
and
that.
oat milk, but initially she
The
couldn't have
rice
any of
milk?
that. So the only place my sister lives in Northern Illinois and she can get rice milk for me.
So she
And so she just when she comes to Kansas,
She
brings
would
it for
bring-
me.
She
No,
brings
she
like
brings
4
us hearts.
cases.
She still brings us 4 cases. Every
Oh my
time.
gosh, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's hilarious.
but
We use like
and
oat
Oregon,
milk if we
Oregon,
need,
we
like,
found
something thicker, you know.
yeah.
Pacific rice. Or, yeah, so and then
We
now
brought
she
it
can
home
have
on an airplane
sunflower,
one
so
time.
we can have more of the almond milks and stuff like that.
Yeah, we
But
brought it home on an airplane one time. We shoved it in suitcases.
The milk.
The oat milk.
That's funny.
No,
Did you worry
rice
about them?
Rice milk. Yeah,
Did you worry about them exploding in the things with the
no
pressure?
more crushed.
Oh yeah.
yeah, from them throwing the bag.
was
And there was
fine.
1 or 2 that were crushed, but nothing leaked. So
Good.
that was good.
It's good.
So
Is
yeah,
that
we
that?
have definitely had struggles. So if you have any questions about struggles, we probably have had them. So we blended rice in the blender and made rice milk.
It was
Yeah.
purple.
It's purple.
Yeah, you did black rice.
We did black rice.
Yes, black rice milk. That's awesome.
It was purple, and then for Thanksgiving I had purple stuffing.
Nice.
It was genius.
Yeah.
Look at all that we've been through.
Woo!
I know, you guys.
We did it though.
So, I mean, that's one of the things is like, you got, because your test was horrible. Your first IgG one.
She could only have 111 foods out of all that. It was yeah. It
And
was
none of the main ones
And it
that,
was like all fish.
yeah. You can have fish for breakfast, fish for lunch.
I don't like fish at all. And you're like, yeah, try to stay away from tuna for some reason. I don't know. And that was like
Not
the
great
only fish I wanted.
Yeah.
We would have wanted.
Well, you know, it's how it
Okay,
is.
Stop talking now.
And you said you didn't like allergies. So what did you tell people?
Oh, you didn't like us to say she had Crohn's.
No, the word allergies. It
Oh,
said,
allergies.
Like, I don't like. I have allergies because that just sounds gross. So it'd be like, I have a sensitivity to, or, what did I say?
Yeah, because you said something else besides allergies.
Yeah, I just said it. What was it? I said,
Just tell them wheat and dairy's gross. Well, now you got to think about that.
dang it.
How old are you? Getting senile?
Well, I do know initially, because I asked her the question, and I think that's the key too. I've visited with my mom about, instead of saying, can you have this? Like to ask her that, say, just ask the person, say, do you want this? Because in their mind, they already know what they can eat and what they can't eat at this season. So if you say, do you want this? She'll be like, oh, no, I don't want that. So instead of just really highlighting the person, it doesn't draw them out. It just makes them part of the crowd. When you say, do you want this? They'll be like, oh, no, I'm okay. And that's kind of what she's used with other people. They'll go, oh, would you like some ice cream? She's like, oh, no, I'm okay. I mean, she's not gonna advertise that she does not eat that. She just kind of shoves it under the rug. So
Yeah. That's a good way to think about it,
It
too,
is.
because it's more on the positive side.
right,
Yeah.
exactly.
And then, so now,
Wait, I'm thinking.
after all this time, so it's 2 years later,
Yes,
and you guys redid your IgG food test.
right,
Because you wanted to get certain things back.
right.
What were the things that were like the most important that you got back? So if you guys don't know, so Crohn's is autoimmune. All autoimmune is T cell dysregulation, which is secondary molecular mimicry, which is typically triggered through foods that their antigens look like the tissue.
Mm-hmm.
And then you do that blood test, and then you say, okay, they put your blood with that food antigen, and then they do that for 184 foods, and then we say don't eat those foods.
Right.
And so she had a whole bunch that she didn't do, and I remember you were just like, I gotta get these things back. And then when you retested, I think, if I remember right, so when you retested, the goal is to eliminate those in the beginning so we get rid of the symptoms, so we
Right.
get rid of Crohn's fast. But long term, it's dealing with the stress, the hormone exhaustion, and the sugar that causes the T cell dysregulation.
Okay.
And then we retest like a year later,
Mm-hmm.
and then you see how well you improved your immune system.
Right.
And I think coconut it was one of those, because once you were symptom free for like 6 months, I think we added in potatoes and tomatoes.
Yes, those were the main
Yeah,
ones
those
we
were the
brought
two.
back.
And you were just like, oh my gosh, thank
My
you
life
so
is
much.
all perfect now.
Yeah.
It's all
like,
relative.
like who thinks tomatoes and like potatoes? My life's
Oh, my life
better.
is back! Yay!
And
Now
then-
we just eat potatoes and ketchup.
Well, that is true. Yeah,
Good.
that's your main two thing. So then, what did you get back on the second one? That after like all the work that you did repairing your T cells, I thought coconut milk was it coconut?
Still can't really have coconut.
Coconut's not one.
So she got all vegetables back except pumpkin, which I was going to say about
That's a
this,
weird one.
which is weird. It's pretty high, but you can take. I had butternut squash prolifically in my garden, and so you can just peel the outside of it, chop it up in cube, and then steam it, and then puree it down, and substitute that with instead of pumpkin. You can add your cinnamon, your nutmeg, your cloves, and literally we make quote pumpkin muffins, but we don't use pumpkin. We use
Okay.
a butternut squash, and it literally instead of pumpkin pie, use butternut squash and make your squash pie, and it literally tastes like a pumpkin pie. And
Oh.
I use gluten-free pie crust, and I mean we love it. And the other substitute that people struggle with is butter. No butter because you can't have dairy. We
Yeah.
use lard.
Did you guys really?
We do. We use lard like in pie crust. Jenna will even make chocolate chip cookies with lard, and she uses dairy. There's a chocolate chip cookie or chocolate
So
out there,
there's
soy
dairy-free.
nut, and that one brand.
Yeah.
What is it, Jenna? Yes. What's the brand of the chocolate chips that you like?
Enjoy life.
Oh, Enjoy Life is the brand of that one.
And it's like the all gluten free. I'm trying to find.
So
I'm
anyway,
trying to
so she
find
can
my
have
differences.
she got all her vegetables back, and so then had most fruits, but then she had eaten so much watermelon and so much bananas, they kind of spiked up a little bit.
They
the
did?
next year.
Okay.
But,
Yeah.
but like watermelon went from a 0 to a 3, and banana just went to a 1.
A 1.
Just a little bit.
So just a little bit, and it wasn't a high one either.
Yeah. But we even got some
Then
legumes back. We got even some dried beans back. More navy, which people think, because initially, like the whole year, we could not have chili. I mean, there's just really, it was life changing.
Yeah,
it was challenging. It was like cold and no chili.
That's like the only.
But now, instead of pinto beans or black beans, we just use navy beans. Or if we're making refried beans, I just use navy beans, and I make refried beans with the navy beans.
They have like big bags of dried.
Yeah, so dried. So
and they're cheap, which is nice too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and she can have, like, she loves strawberries, and she's always been able to have strawberries, so that's just a big blessing.
Woo.
And all meats, she can have all meats, and all of her spices. She never.
You can have spices.
All her spices. She got all spices now. She can have.
Nice.
So.
Did you guys have black pepper?
We had lost that initially too. That was the other weird one.
Black pepper's the worst one.
Yeah, that was a weird one. Yeah, my good friend doesn't have that right now. So.
And you're like,
I was like, you'll get it back, I promise.
Like inside of a papaya, you're like, some people do that, and so we tried it, and it was like disgusting. It was disgusting.
We
you didn't like it?
Yeah.
It tastes like black pepper to me.
I don't know.
Okay.
It's too much work.
Yeah, because you had to like buy papaya. Nobody wanted the fruit, so you throw away the fruit. Oh, we'll just keep all these seeds. We'll wash them, and then you have to like
grind them. I don't know.
Grind it up.
Yeah.
Oh well, we were trying anything back then.
That's right. Well, so then you were happy with the second report a lot.
Yeah.
And that was nice because that means you're regularly fixing the long-term thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what most people that do this, it's kind of similar work. It's just like, they'll be like, well, you can just eat whatever you want after like 6 months. And it's like, no, you have to fix the actual reason for the food sensitivities. You can't just stay away from them. They'll become other ones. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And so then their test looks like crap the next time, but it's just different foods. And so that's not what you want. You want to fix those things. So with that, like, especially even like the total number, did that drop down?
Oh, I'm sure it did. We never really counted on that second number.
You were so happy you were counting. No more crying and like,
yeah. And two, I think what we've learned, kind of with the banana, is we try not to eat like the same thing every day, over and over and over, just because.
Rotating.
We'll try it. So, like, if she likes oatmeal, we don't eat oatmeal every day. Maybe she eats rice cereal one day, or
Cheerios.
Cheerios one day, and then oatmeal another day, and just kind of rotate them that way.
And we also talked about, like, okay, so it's 6 weeks, you're better, like it's normal. And kind of like, how long did it take? So sometimes we talked about how long it takes before people are like, this is real, you know, it's you're normal again, right?
Right.
Was that that didn't seem like a struggle for you guys? Like you just knew it was going to get better, and it got better.
Yeah, I had full confidence that this was the answer. We've talked about, like, if she had like a stomach ache, I'm like, what'd you eat?
Yeah.
And she's like, Mom, I'm fine.
Yeah.
And so she never worried. But I really think, because I was confident that it was going to work, then that confidence fell on her. So if I had been really uptight about it, which, you know, like, I just don't know, I don't think it's going to work, then it might have kind of relayed on her. Yeah, kind of, yeah. But I was fully confident that, I just had a peace that it was going to work.
And you are now taller than your brother, right?
Yes, she is taller than her brother now.
Yeah.
That weighs more than her.
Because your oldest boy, how tall is he?
He's 6'6".
Oh my gosh. Is he taller than your husband?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So, and then the second boy, so you have 4 or 3?
I have 4 children.
Okay.
So the oldest
Oh,
sister,
you have 2 daughters, 2 sons.
2 daughters,
That's right.
yeah, 2 sons, yeah. So the oldest daughter, so she's...
How tall is the oldest? Your sister?
She's only 5'7".
Ivy is tall as her.
Yeah, so she's 5'7". I'm 5'8". Yeah, so then Josh is 6'6", and then she's now 5'6".
So you grew 7 inches
in 2 years.
But you didn't grow for
2 years.
So you didn't grow for 2 years, fixed it, and then basically allowed all that nutrition to finally start growing. Everything, hormones, everything started working. And so I remember that was our big metric of like success, because sure, we're going to get rid of the Crohn's. Like to me, it's just like, yeah, you're just going to get rid of that.
Right, yeah.
But you seem so tiny and like malnourished, and that was like, I remember every time you came in, it was just like, oh, she weighs more. Oh, she's
I know,
taller.
it was huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, the weight. And so, yeah, today she weighs 98 pounds, 2 years later.
We're going to get you obese
High five.
like most Americans.
Nope.
If I can get you overweight, I feel like that's clinical success.
No.
We got to get you like America.
No.
People are going to think you're foreign. They're going to be like, oh, she's from Sweden. Look at her.
This used to be normal.
I know. So, and then, yeah, so 6, and then you weigh 98. So,
98 pounds today. Yeah.
So that's 36 pounds?
36 pounds in 2 years.
36 pounds and 7, yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
That's like a third of your weight.
What?
Yeah,
What?
30 of your weight.
a third of your weight.
A third of your weight. You gained a third of your weight.
Oh,
Yeah.
fancy.
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 Yeah. So that's amazing, because that was that thing I was really worried about, is making sure that the metabolism worked, that they're getting the nutrients.
Yeah.
Like we had this patient one time that, like she was having bones that were just breaking. She was in college, and she has bones that were breaking for no reason, and she had all these weird kind of anxiety, depression, muscle aches, all this weird stuff. And so when I went through, like I thought this was going to be a really complicated patient, and I went through all her labs, like she's seen all these specialists, and all her labs, none of them made any clinical sense. And then looked at all her symptoms and ruled out all the misdiagnoses that she's gotten. And then finally, someone had written, one of the doctors had written celiac, ? And then that doctor had quit and moved to another state. And no one followed up on that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the messed up thing, is if you mess up the gut, then no other system in your body absorbs nutrients. So the brain changes, the muscles change, the bones change, everything falls apart.
Right.
And so that's one of those big things of like making sure that you grew, and now you're almost taller than I am.
Yeah, it'll be
It's
fun.
crazy.
I know. I have to stand up straight.
Because I'm super tall. Super tall. Sometimes I slump over to make other people feel more confident.
Yeah.
No, all right. Good. And the extreme anemia?
Yes.
All better.
All better, 100%.
That was another one that you worry about, is like, okay, you got the system better, but can you get that? So the anemia was just the malnutrition part.
Yeah, and that was probably, I would say, took the
That was the
longest.
iron,
That was the
mostly.
took forever.
Yeah.
The iron put up the anemia.
Because you were pretty fatigued in the beginning, weren't you?
Well, if she didn't get to bed at 8 o'clock, it was like disaster, and we just thought that was just Jenna.
Yeah.
She said I turned into a pumpkin.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
They probably liked you back then because you were just like, you didn't move around too much, didn't talk too much. If you got sassy, they would just feed you some gluten. You'd be like, oh, is your tummy hurt? Go to bed. We're going to watch TV now.
No. Would that be me?
That sounds like Dad. I'm sorry if you watch this, Dad, or any of Dad's relatives. I apologize.
All right, so as we kind of wrap up things, I guess, normal again's nice. Obviously it was worth it.
Mm-hmm.
And then kind of what would you tell other people in the same situation, whether they have kids that have it? I mean, that's the frustrating thing, is we have patients that have little kids with Crohn's and ulcerative
It's becoming
colitis.
more and more. Yeah,
Yeah.
the day that she was diagnosed, there was a girl that she went to school with.
Like
And
the
then-
exact day,
And then same doctor, everything like that. So kids are getting it younger and younger and
And
stuff.
she's probably pooping in a bag now.
No.
She actually
came to
decided to come visit you after a year.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know who that is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So but you know what? Once again, just
And
tell your
she
story.
thinks like that too. She's
Yeah.
like, boom.
We're so grateful. And but just I don't know, find a good support system. I mean, and the food, the emails will save your life. Like when it comes to
The emails.
the emails. I
Yeah.
mean, because that is the biggest challenge. The thing about emails is it gives you recipes, and then it actually gives you a shopping list all together.
Yeah, I remember
That was the
that.
key to that. And as a mother, I don't have like hours to spend to try to figure out what to cook for my family.
Okay, so wait, you were a mom of 4 kids and making all these changes.
Right.
And not everybody was supporting it.
No.
And you still made it work.
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop.
So, but I mean, you have to decide for yourself. I think if you have Crohn's or ulcerative colitis or IBS or any kind of thing, is what do you want to be doing in the next 10 years or 20 years? And I knew for Jenna, like I said earlier, I knew I wanted her to be, go through puberty right. I wanted her to be able to someday grow into a woman, to get married, have children, and have her body to be healthy. And that was my motivation, because I'm going to do anything. I'm her mother,
Yeah.
And so it's worth it, because God's put you on this earth for a purpose, and it's not to lay in bed in chronic pain.
Yeah.
And and life is hard. And actually, and they say the good things come, good things don't come easy. Good things only come a lot of times through trials and tribulations and those kind of things. And we definitely, but yeah.
You know what I like about the church kind of thing?
Uh-huh.
Is you go to the potlucks and it's just a bunch of crap.
Oh, sure.
And then you pray for everybody to get better.
Oh, yeah.
I was think that's just
they
ridiculous.
throw them to the, unless we bring food and then it says gluten-free.
That's right. So they need to have a church. Churches need to adopt only like Daniel plan.
Daniel plan, yeah.
Like we don't have any potlucks.
Yeah.
That
Do
have
the
crap.
Daniel fast and then bring it. There we go.
That's right.
That's awesome.
So
there was a guy named, his name's Keith Massey.
Uh-huh.
And he's like a more successful version of my teacher. And he made a diet book off the book of Genesis called Original Sin.
Oh, Original Sin.
Like off the play off
Yeah.
like Original Sin.
Yeah.
But it has
And it's funny because
vegetables, a lot of vegetables, healthy.
well, yeah, probably because it's like a diet book based off the book of Genesis.
Well, yeah, and you look at like the Leviticus types of food, like when we talk about the food as medicine. I mean, basically, we pollute the environment. Those are the things that clean it up, and then we eat that pollution through them.
Oh, nice.
So, well, as we finish up here, please share this video. Obviously, a lot of people, I think it's 50% of all family practice visits now are due to gut problems.
Wow.
And so it's just like everybody in your family and community and church and like all these people. And the thing that you don't want is patients or your friends suffering needlessly when it's that easy to fix.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And it's just getting over that kind of fear of like, well, I've tried all these other gimmicks. I've tried all these other quick fixes. Is this just another one of those things? And
it's specific for you. I mean,
Right.
that's what the IgD is specific for your body.
Yeah.
Because her friend that has Crohn's eats different things than she can eat because it's specific for her body.
Yeah.
That's what
Did
I
you guys
like.
compare lists?
A little bit, yeah, we did.
At the beginning.
Did you brag because you had more or something like that? You're like,
No.
She just couldn't have eggs. And
She couldn't have eggs. We felt so bad. And then she can have lemon and lime, though. I remember that.
no.
She could have Chick-fil-A.
It's all the little things.
It's all the little things.
So
Yeah.
thank you guys. Seriously, thank you for being here. Because from the very beginning, I was just like, I think at some point, you are going to like do something with this. Because, holy crap. You were so awesome and so determined. And you kicked butt. Like, you're amazing.
That was supposed to be fun. Thank
Like,
you.
I feel like I want to give you Amy's running numbers and sign over to you.
Ooh, I'm not very
No.
good at running.
No, Amy.
Sorry.
Just-
I'm not good at running.
So,
you should... Good that he has it. Woohoo!
that's right.
Go running, Amy. Okay, I'm done.
I think she said she's retiring.
Okay, retire from running.
She says she's doing it, and now she's retiring. So, if you guys know the people that are suffering, just let them know, and that they don't have to. And that's crazy that it only took 6 weeks, and that's usually what we see,
Yeah.
But thank you guys for joining us, and every week, 7 o'clock, hope to see you again. And thank you guys so much for being here and
Pleasure.
sharing your story. And
Absolutely.
I think it's very meaningful and important that you guys are like a light to other people.
Yep.
And you helped Amy.
Woo!
It just took a year later.
Yeah.
So, and your other friend.
Yeah, exactly.
You.
List goes on and on.
This is permanent on the web.
That's okay.
Just so you know.
It's okay. They get to see my beautiful face forever.
All right. Well, thank you guys.
Come watch
and
it anybody.
you
ever.
gotta hit the finish button.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Can you even reach that far? You're
Yeah,
so
I
tall
can.
now. All right. Bye, you guys.
Bye.
Whoa, it's down here.
Don't touch that button there.